Hello guys and welcome to this stream. So give me a minute and let me just tweet this out and put it everywhere that it needs to be and go from there. Just give me a moment. I need to check sound as well.
Hello guys.
Yeah, we're sounding good, which is great news. Share, copy link. If you could like and subscribe and share this video, I'd be much appreciate it, guys. And also, if you're someone who likes to watch my videos a lot, we could do with like if you want to watch them, hit the notification bell. Let's get this pasted. FWFC. Just made a tweet out. So live stream. We done so far. Tweet that and I'll shove this in my Facebook page. Yeah, which I could do with people actually going to soon. Really, if I could get people to go to that soon, I will have something up to show you it. It's easy to find. Put in PunkChef41 and you'll find the Facebook page. A lot goes there, and I'm going to try and start using it a little bit more in the future because it'll be easier for people to get used to it. There I am. Thank you to 6 of you that are watching. Copy. Where's my page? There it is. If I'm honest, there isn't any real flow to this tonight. I'm normally a bit more prepared than this with questions and stuff. In fact, Ian and Jake been okay season so far. I know a lot are expecting microphone, but it's the first season for him. And he's doing okay. We've got cheer for that, DJ. Hi mate. Hi Galen, how are you doing? I hope Monk will be like Brian Law when it comes to youth. I kind of like that myself, to be honest with you. Lawsy was a big fan with the youth team, and it's kind of what we need to do. If you look at most teams that do well in the championship, they tend to do well with having a good influence of youth and experience, and that's something we could do with doing a bit more of, because we are pretty crap at bringing in youth. Hey up, Everton FC is the best. So yeah, it's one of the ones where I will be interested to see what he does. I personally think Monk's done okay so far. He come in, he hasn't had to steady the ship as such. He's just had to maintain it, really, because let's be honest, Bullen was doing okay. It did need someone in. Just before I get going, I'm just going to turn my heater on. It's cold down here, so I apologise if you hear it in the background, if you're wearing headphones, but I need it on. I'm bloody cold. So yeah, it will be very interesting to see what he decides to do next in terms of where he goes from with the team. Because so far the formation's working at sort, but I think the biggest problem we've got at the minute with Monk is that he doesn't know his best team, and we need to get him knowing a consistent team and what players he likes, what players he want to use. Because like at the weekend when he brought Rhodes on, I thought Rhodes actually did pretty damn well. I thought he was okay considering he'd not played much 13 football in terms of championship. I wouldn't mind if he actually went and did okay there, but we got the situation come the summer. We have a lot of players who are out of contract this season, and it could be the best thing we could do with, actually, to be honest with you, with a new manager coming in now and then him being able to put his stamp on it in the summer, because he has to, really, and that would be really good. There are some very good youth team players who could do with either, again, I said it before, going out on loan for a bit or been given a chance. I think you'll see Alex Hunt get a chance. I think you'll see Connor Kirby, when he gets back, a chance. I think you'll see a lot of the players do quite well in trying to get in. But I feel like there's a good possibility of doing quite well here. If I feel like Sheffield is my Sheffield teammate. Which side though? I hope it's Wednesday, because if you say Sheffield, you have to be careful. That's a big one, that one, mate. You have to make sure you know which side it's saying. But I understand what you're saying, and we appreciate it. We seem to let a lot of the youth who got in the 23 need to loan a lot of them out. After could go to be released if he stays in the 23. The problem is you've had a situation where we've had money, so we've not really needed to use youth. We've been able to go out and buy the players. We haven't been good with youth team players for a good number of years, Callum, and that has been a big issue. We've never been really renowned for having a good youth team and bringing players through. The time that we did with the likes of Palmer, Beavers, Tommy Burr, that kind of ilk, we were always good at it there. But the problem you've got at the minute with certain players, especially in the youth team, it's giving them the chance to have a go and play in the youth team. Give me a minute. Just got a message from someone. Just told me that I'm streaming. Yeah, but the problem you've got is that you've got to be able to get that through. And it's alright having a decent youth squad playing against youth team players, but we don't ever seem to loan them out. Or we've had periods where youth team players don't want to get loaned out. I think with the kind of likes of Af Baker and stuff like that, he's been injured, so it's been a difficult one to judge. Af Baker can't really say anything. He's been injured. When an injured player is coming back, if it's first team or youth, he's got to get back into that kind of thing. And we got to work out what to do with the youth team thing. The nice thing about Monk, he is well known for using youth. He does like to have a big blend of youth and experience. The problem is that our average age of our team at the minute is 27, which is okay, but we've got more players who are close to 30 than we have close to in the mid-20s. So it will be interesting to see what we do there. Let me have a look here. Where was I up to? Do you think Monk needs to be more mean when with them instead of being a nice guy? I don't think Monk is necessarily being a nice guy. I think Monk at the minute is just trying to see where he lies. He hasn't needed to be a mean guy yet. He's not needed to be a bit at them yet, because let's be fair, he doesn't have that kind of thing with the squad yet. I believe when he does have to give them a rollicking, they'll stand up and pay attention. But he's not really had it yet. The times that we've actually had the issues and stuff, he understands what it is. He knows we need to concentrate. So on that one, Glenn, I think it's more of a case that the more he gets to know the player, because you've got to remember, he's got to go in there trying to get him on side before he can go in there being a bit dictatorish. And that's what we've got to do. Do you know we know if BT is joined Costa? I haven't heard anything yet, but there are rumours going around that he's in talks. And to be honest with you, everyone keeps turning around about the whole BT thing being an ex-Blade and all that kind of thing. I couldn't really care. If he's going to actually make our strikers better strikers, go for it. Because he was a good striker. And that'll be what he's doing. And if Monk's happy with him when he's been at his other clubs, I can't see why we don't go for it. And to be honest with you, it's actually quite nice to see us actually looking at other people who we've had before. I kind of like that. And not just having people who we've employed in the past. Kirby captain. He had got captain material, but I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. The one thing when they are missing in a minute, we are missing an actual leader on that pitch. And I'm going to say now, we hadn't have a proper leader on a Wednesday pitch since Semedo. We had not had a proper captain since Semedo, to be honest with you. And that's what I personally think. We've not had someone who can get with the lads, make them, G them up, bollock them. Bannon doing it, but the problem is Bannon very mouthy. Bannon will go and mouth off at the ref too much, and I think that's a problem. He got the experience. I say you could give it Hutch, but the problem is you give it Hutch is how long is he going to be before he's injured again? And we are missing a lot of leaders on that pitch, and that's going to be an issue, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. What if we don't go up this season? There will have to be a big rebuild job because FFP. Yeah, we will have to have a big rebuild job because FFP. But I think Monk's very good at not working with too much money and finding gems of players. He's been shown to do that in the past, and he knows what he's looking for. So in that sense, I'm not really that worried about FFP. And to be fair, FFP, it sounds like we're doing a little bit better with it now. We're being a little bit stricter with what we're doing. The problem we have at the moment with our FFP thing is that we don't seem to be able to make enough money in other revenue. So other people coming into the club and stuff like that. That's where we do struggle at times. And that's where we need to get someone in for that. But we've done this about 3 times, trying to get someone to help the commercial side and then finding fonts and stuff. And we need to do that more. Monkey very hands-on gaffer. Yeah, I like a hands-on manager, to be honest with you. I think that's what we needed for a while, to be honest with you. Someone who's a bit more hands-on and not stand off and have a couple of different coaches. Monk's substitutes are naive and negative. Doing a good job, but bringing on fourth there for 5 minutes to leave it. But to be fair, that was fourth there first proper game back, and you can't rush him because everyone's saying he should be starting, and I thought he should start as well. But at the same time, he's not had much game time, and I think a lot of people are expecting him to do miracles with what happened when he first came to him, but he's lost that yard of pace. I think for fourth there, he could be a good player to change his game a little bit, how he played, but he'll get there in the end. But the problem is, you can only go with what he got and who fit. Yeah, exactly, Callum. I've heard we're doing well with FFP. And he did make those 2 players a lot better. And he's a good coach. Everyone who thinks about Beattie being a net player has got to put that out of the mind. He's a good coach. Happy Fox is doing well this season, being a boo boy for a long time. Yeah, he looked really good, but to be fair to Fox has actually done the great work in the off-season. Pre-season, he went and did his own camp. He went and got fit. I'd love, the way Fox is playing now, I'd love to give him a new contract. I'd be giving him a new contract right now because he's becoming a better player. He's finally becoming that person that we want to do. I really want him to push on now, and he's doing really well. Semedo been over the hill for years, to be honest. I would love to see him a coach. I'm not talking of him being a captain, coming back as a player, Callum. I'm talking about that the last time we had a proper leader on the pitch. I wouldn't have Semedo back as a player. I'd have him as a coach or a club ambassador. Yes, but I wouldn't have him as a player. No way. He was done the first season we came back up for me and just didn't really fit in. And the thing is, I was making the example that the last time we had a proper leader on the pitch. I wouldn't have him as a player, no, not a chance. We need to tie down Dawson, especially with Westy. This is on the. I think Dawson will do, but you've also got to remember, I think we'll probably tie both Dawson and Wildsmith down to new deals. Westwood is on the decline, yeah, but at the same time, it's been very rare that we've ever seen Westwood make as many mistakes as he is at the minute. And I have a little niggle that I don't think he's fit. I don't think he's still quite 100% fit, and that's a bit of a shame, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's hope. 1 win in 5 now, 3 points off playoffs. That gap is getting bigger. 6 points off second, could easily fall into bottom half. Yeah, Glenn, we could easily start doing that, but at the same time, there's a lot of ifs there. And one of the nice things we got, considering, and it's big style, considering Monk never got a pre-season with these players, this international break is actually the blessing in disguise, but it gives us a mini pre-season. And each time we've had a international break, the players have come back looking better, looking like they know there's something new. Like the last game, we redid set pieces. Capella Petty's set pieces were horrible. Our big thing, we need to concentrate more for the full 90 minutes, because we're not doing. And when we go ahead, we need to make much of the chances that we're having. Our biggest problem this year is we are having so many chances and no one is finishing them. If we finish half of the chances that we've had in the last couple of games, we'd be out of sight at the top. But we're not doing, and that's an issue at the minute for us. Let me just have a look here. What happened to that Holland coach? He was with us a bit after Jost. He left. I think he left when Bruce came in, mate. Fox is on 25. Lots of time. Yep, very much. 8 points behind West Brom. Can't keep missing chances and having half luck on games against Cardiff, Leeds and Hull. You're right. We do make our own luck. And to be fair, I got to the point where I had enough of blaming referees at the time, because we got to go and do it ourselves. Our biggest problem at the minute, we are not having any luck in front of goal with the strikers we've got already. New Hughes actually looked very, very good recently. He's just not got the finish on him. We're relying on a 31, 32-year-old Stephen Fletcher. That's not who you want to be relying on. Jordan Rhodes isn't getting picked for whatever reason. Winnall's not getting picked for any reason. And Fezzi's only just come back. Our entire striking force are all going towards early 30, mid 30s, and when it comes to that, you need more youth in your striking departments. You need to have youth in that thing, just because the legs are not there with some of them anymore, and it's a shame. Swansea Black constantly are more. Westwood can only bails out so much. I think the problem that I have with the Swansea Blackburn game was the fact that Westwood went to punch these and he didn't have to. He didn't have to go punching. And I hate keepers that come out and punch. I rather, a keeper for me must come and grab it with both hands, and if he can, and if he doesn't feel confident coming for the punch, don't go for it, it's down your line. He don't go to punch that in the Swansea game, we win that game. For me, and that's simple. Wow, that's 3 years left. Oh, that's good then, I didn't know what they've been making these for a few games. To be fair, this is the first time we've ever seen Westwood make mistakes as such. We've never really seen Westwood make mistakes like this before. So for us as fans, it's a little bit new for seeing him do that. So yeah. Kamaru will be a great signing in Jan. Can't get a game at Anderlecht. Monk signed him for Leeds from Oxford. It would be a good signing, but it'd be a lot of money. They want a lot of money at Anderlecht unless we could do something. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Hutch and Lungo will be good to be fit after the break, to be honest with you. And 4-4-2 does look like a better option. I thought Reach looked good when he came on, but I think I'm starting to get to the point with Reach is it all depends on what mood he's in. The other thing we've got, our players are not consistent enough. And that's going to become an issue. Consistency is key at the minute. And it's going to be the issue if we keep doing it. Can't see what Monk does in January. He's done well with an inherited team and must know what we're lacking. Roland. To be honest with you, yeah, I agree with that. I can't wait to see what he might bring in himself in January. But the issue I got with January is you don't want to make too many whole changes. You want to try and keep most of that squad together while it is there, to be honest with you. Because my issue is you don't keep that squad together while in January, you may have issues with the squad falling apart. And yes, I know that the team spirit is a big one, and he keeps mentioning that. Team spirit doesn't do anything if we're not winning games. And we've been in and around the games and been able to do stuff with these games. And I really want to see us push on a lot more. The big thing is we need to get players scoring again. And that is the big issue. We're not scoring enough goals. I want to see more from Bannon. I want to see more from Reach. I want to see Harris. The problem is Harris has now been found out for how he plays. Harris, for me, has actually been found out what he does, and people know what he does now, which is when he cuts in on his right, they all push him to there to get the ball back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one. Thornley must be so picked with the game time and having a mid replacement and a right back feel for like. To be honest with you, Thornley's an interesting one because Thornley, for me, is interesting with it because you have to be careful with youth team players like that. And he's not youth, I know he's a first team player now, but he had some sort of issue during the thing, and I think he just bided his time, and it's very hard for Thornley to get in the team when you had Boren and Hector doing, not Hector, Iorfa doing so well. Iorfa moving to centre back been superb. You don't drop, I wouldn't drop Fox because he's playing well. I wouldn't drop Palmer. Palmer's looking even better of a player as well. Under this, each time a new manager come in, Palmer's look even better. My missus Rose thinks you're fit. Can you say how I got her doing the washing up for me? Hey Robin, doing the washing up. Need a DM and at least one striker for me. Yeah, defensive midfielder would be good. We haven't had one in a while. And a striker, the only problem with getting a striker in DJ is they cost money. And I think if we're going to get rid of a striker, we need to get rid of at least two. I wouldn't mind seeing us offload a couple in January. But I don't want us to break the squad up too much mid-season, because that's going to have to happen in the summer. It really is going to have to happen in the summer, and if it doesn't, we're going to have a problem if we don't get it right. Is the side capable of going up? I question. I think it's capable of going up. I don't think it's the physicality. I think we're a bit lightweight in the midfield. Mentally, I think they can do it. The problem we've just got is, if you look at it, Glenn, if they're physical and mental, let's look at the mental side of it. If mentally was a problem, it would have gone to tit after Bruce left. They wouldn't have played as well as they did. They wouldn't have played as well as we did after Bruce left. They wouldn't have been able to keep that. So mentally, I think they're fine. I think physically could be the problem, not being... I don't think Kate's been fit enough. I just think some players play through injuries and don't tell people when they're injured. Yeah, the December fixtures look mental. It looks really bad, actually. I don't like the look of it. I also hope for reach to shock the defence. It might be interesting to see if that could happen, but I can't see Harry doing well with reach. But it would be nice to change it up. I'll keep the back four, Fox, Palmer, Bowen, and Iorfa. Yeah, I think the back four would be good. I wouldn't drop Dawson. I wouldn't drop Westwood for Dawson yet. I've given him another game or two. Then after that, if he does another mistake in that, I then would drop him and then give him a bit of a wake-up call and go from there. And like Westwood has said in the past, the lads actually help each other, push each other, and they all try. He knows he's got them behind him, pushing for starts, and that's interesting. We'll love Marcus Madison. Good player. Will be interesting to see if he could make the cut up to playing championship and how he's doing. He'd be a good player. Marcus Madison is a very good player, but it's funds. It's all funds for us. What do you think? When do you think Sheffield will become a Premier League team? It's hard one to say that Everton FC is the best because the championship is so hard to get out of. If you look at the championship table now, there are so many teams that you wouldn't expect to be where they are at the minute and pushing for going up. I think a best question would be asking it about halfway through or near the end of the season, because until we've had a full little bit of a season. The problem we've had the last couple of seasons, we've had so many destructive problems in terms of management, and we've not really been able to keep a consistent manager, and that's key. We really do need to keep a key team together, and having a consistency with the manager would help. But I'd say a year, maybe 2, if we can keep Monk as manager and everything goes right. I would love to offload Rhodes and Winnall and replace them with younger, hungrier strikers, but who and how much would they cost? The problem is, Rhodes is out of contract in the summer, so if someone desperately wants a striker, you're not going to get a striker who's good at me. I think Rhodes is probably going to have to go lower league soon, because I think he would do well League 1, League 2. So that will be interesting there. Winnall's an interesting one. Came with a lot of gusto. I think for Winnall it's more not his attitude, but I think he thinks sometimes he's bigger and better than he is, and he's really not. He's a good player, but we don't use him for his skills, and it'd be interesting what would happen there. Road Fortieri for me out the door. Yeah, I agree with that one, DJ. It's just a case with that one. Rhodes probably definitely. Fortieri got to show up more. He's not really at the minute because he's not had the chances. I'd like to see Fletcher go, but I know that's a huge chunk of our goal going. I'd like to see Fletcher going for someone hungrier, but we don't have any sell-on value with these players. These players do not have any sell-on value. They're at the wrong age of their careers. And this is where we need to start bringing in a youth team aspect, our own youth team players or younger players, because there's no sell-on value. If you get a striker at 19, 20 and he does well for the first 2 seasons for you, you could sell him on for 10 to 15, sometimes 20 million to a Premiership club kind of thing, and then try and get him back out on loan. Look at what Jack Clark did at Leeds. Had a great first season, went to Spurs, went back out on loan to Leeds, and I think he'd actually been recalled by Tottenham because he wasn't getting any game time. So it's an interesting one, that one. What are my thoughts on VAR? VAR is... when it works, it's good, but I think their rules on offsides are way too strict. I think VAR should just be for penalties, and that'd be it. Or offside. I don't think it should be penalties only and leave the offside for that. And then if people want to say how it is, it'll be interesting to go from there. But I think VAR, we're still in that period where we've all been calling for VAR to happen for ages, and we've just not got there yet. And it's going to take a while to get used to it. I think in some countries they've actually ditched it after 1 season, so it'll be interesting. I agree with you, but we need to keep calling the team. Yeah, exactly. I'm not too sure. Hang on, let me have a look. Marcus Madsen. Let's have a look. 26 is a good age actually, Marcus Madsen. Let's have a look. Peterborough. He was linked. Yeah, he had a content option. So yeah, he's out of contract at the end of the season. So it would be a good shout, but it will be a big step up. I think Alec Morris is a free transfer actually, to be honest with you. It will be interesting to see what the steal is there. Oh, he's a Donny lad. Forgot about that. Just like me. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's out of contract at the season, end of the season, and I think he may have actually come in around about when Singy was there, so it'll be interesting there. We had our chances under Carlos to get promotion, and since then 2 seasons have fallen from grace. I really fear for us if we don't go. I don't fear for us going up this season. I that's not my issue. I don't fear for us in that sense. What I fear for more than anything is the fans turning thinking we should have gone for it. It will be interesting to see what happened, but we do. You don't get promotion with youngsters. You have to do a mixture of both. You can't do just youngsters. Yeah, you can't. But at the same time, you look at what the transfer figures are for some players, and I don't want to be put over a barrel for players anymore. If they're in our youth team and we can get them, and I'm not saying use the entire youth team setup, I'm saying mix it. And when I say youth, I'm on about players who are like 21 to anywhere between 21 and 24. But if you look at a youth team problem going wrong, look at what's going on at Barnsley. Barnsley transfer policy over the summer was we only sign players 24 and younger. We won't have any players older than that. And that's their problem. They don't have any experience. You have to do a mix of the two. If you don't have the mix of the two, it'll be interesting. Carlos did leave a big mess. He didn't leave a mess. The problem is people say that Carlos doesn't leave a mess. The problem Carlos had, he took the team as far as he could take it. He had his head turned by Swansea, which we all know. Players were already starting to get on with him now, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But what if Rowe goes and does well at another club, another player who grew? That's the risk we've got to take. It's the risk we've got to take, and it's what we do best. I hate to say it, we are very good at ruining player careers, who come and have great kind of things and know what he's doing. It just doesn't work. It's a shame because we have all the ability, but we just sometimes don't get it right. One thing we could do with doing is we could really do with some more proper scouting. And let's be fair, Rhodes was a big risk. It was a big risk, and it hasn't worked. Glenn, you have to... Yeah, exactly, DJ. I love Moa. He classic jingle of what we were looking for. Barnsley got promotion from League 1 with League 2 players. Flawed argument, mate. Not to Jake. Exactly. Like, you could... If you look at Sheffield United as an example, and I don't want to always go on about our position and stuff, but you look at Sheffield United, that's not a team full of Premiership players. It's not a team full of quality players. A lot of their players are League 1, League 2, bedded in around some experience and some youth. That's how you do it. And if you look carefully, there are decent players in League 1, League 2 who could make the step up. And that's the thing. You can get up to the Premiership without spending a lot. The problem is you just have to have faith in A, your scouting, B, your convictions, and C, your players. If your players are on so much money all the time, it doesn't matter. Just sometimes if you give them so much money, they're not going to want to play. They're like, well, I've got this much money, I don't need to do it. Like and this is something some people might not agree with me here. Rhodes is on the most money he's ever been on. At his other clubs, he had a goal scoring bonus. And when he scored goals, he got the bonus. Did he not need the goal scoring bonus with the way we put in front of him? I.e. not making him feel like he needs to be motivated enough to get the goals. And I think when his dad left the club, that kind of hit him a little bit. I don't think for Jordan Rhodes, I don't think is a confidence thing. I think it's more of a motivational thing. Some players, when they get so much money at one point, they lose that kind of spark. And a player who's sitting on around, say, 15 grand, 16 grand, and then will, say, get a 5 grand, 10 grand goal bonus when they reach, say, 15 goals a season, they will go for it because it's got a motivational aspect. But it'd be interesting to see what some of the players class as their motivation. Is it money? Is it doing well? Is it thingy? Some players have small contracts and have a goal bonus. Andy left to go to help manage, I think it was at Oldham or somewhere like that. He had an opportunity to go into management and it didn't really pay out. He went to be an assistant. Some players are better when they're on lower wages and have bonuses in than players who are on high wages and no bonuses. We can't bury our head in the sand. We won't come. We won't. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at this one. We won't bury our heads in the sand. Can we? We can't compete if we don't go. I don't get that, Glenn. I kind of don't get what you mean there, because we can compete if we don't go up. There's a lot of teams around us who are in the same situation as us. We're not the only ones that are in a problem here. There's a lot of teams that are struggling. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The board of Barnsley. Yeah, I know. I've got a friend who's a Barnsley fan and she hates it. To be honest with you, I never wanted Rhodes. I'm quite happy when we have Winnall. I thought we could have built a team round about Winnall, and Rowe got done because the chairman wanted to gamble and it didn't work out. There's no way if we get rid of all our players through a Bayern contract through FFP, we'll be able to compete next season. Chances that Spurs are going up are fading fast. To be honest with you, Glenn, I don't see that though. I think we might be I think we might be able to see some very shrewd transfer coming. Look at Julian. Look at Iorfa. Yes, they were under Steve Bruce, but that network of scouts are still at the club. He didn't take the scouting network with him. We still have that, and that's one thing we can be very happy about. And to be honest with you, Chansiri fucked up. Chansiri fucked up by turning around and saying Chansiri fucked up by turning around and saying that we were going to go up. He wanted to go up in 2 seasons. He should never put a date on it. He should never put a date on when he wanted to go up, and that's where he fucked up. Can't on say, mate, but he came. We went over and bent on him. Never lived up to his price tag. Maybe he had been 3 million. And what I find funny about that is that you've now got Middlesbrough who are complaining about club doing this, that, and whatever, and saying, "Oh, we're being overpriced. Players are being overpriced to us and stuff like that." It's exactly the same thing they did for us. So, yeah. I hope we don't let Penny go on a free. I think Penny will come back and be okay, actually. I think he'll be in his plans. He apparently is in contact with him. What he said on the interview today I thought was very good. Top 8 would be good. Lungo 800k. Adebayo could still be a decent. Adebayo got to get game plan. We will keep an eye on our players who contracted by. If so, who would you like to keep? Let me go transfer manager. Transfer thingy, because it's on the transfer market. That's it. Let's have a look, and let me just check my camera. Yeah, we're fine. 46%, doing better than we have done in a while. So let's have a look. Who's out of contract at the end of the season? If I could do it, I'd love to bring it up on the screen. So let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get this to display my screen. Display capture. Well, hey, I think we might be able to do this. Let's see what happens here. Okay, hold on. Sheffield Wednesday. Let's have a look. Look at teams. Just give me a minute, lads. See if it'll let me have it. Oh, fuck off, you stupid piece of shit. Did you know there's an English version of this site? Come on, then. Apologise for this, lads. Just trying to get this sorted. Let's have a look. Oh, you've been a twat. This website is normally really good as well. There we go. For God's sake, that took a while. Let's just get rid of some of this lot. And then see if this will work, lads. It should work. So, if we go to this. Hey, we're working. Good. So let's have a look. Let's go with details. Let's go with contract expiries. So, let me bring up, let's just split this a minute so I can see your comments. Because I can't see jack shit at a minute. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, stupid thing. So it looks like here we got, on terms of people expiring contracts, are Preston, Fletcher, Hutch, Fez, Rhodes, Kieran Lee, Atty, Winnall, Pelopessi, Fox, Dawson, Bates, that's Lone, Baker. Yeah, that's a fair number that are going to be going if you look at it, actually. So I wouldn't be that happy if I'm on it. Come on. Okay. Come back to that. Switch this. Remove. Yep. There we go. So yeah, a nice number of players that are actually going to be gone. And then you look at the other lot of players that are going to be going as well. It's a fair lot, really. So yeah, it's interesting. It's very pleasant. Gibson, I will not trust that guy. Tell me at the right time in a room full of. Yeah, to be honest with you, Gibson just he got a lot of respect for the Middlesbrough fan because he is a Middlesbrough fan and he's a local businessman, but he's not got it right. Bannon is out of contract 2021, so not this season, next season. And there's a lot, like I said, the next season will be a massive rebuild. Like, let's have a look. So, hasn't actually got what Harris and Adebayo's bio date is. Preston's contract ended in the summer. So, Stephen Fletcher's contract ends. Hutch's contract ends. Betty contract ends. Rhodes contract ends. Kieran Lee contract ends. Atty contract ends. Winnall contract ends. Pelopessi and Fox and Dawson. And Baker. Westwood, Bannon, Palmer, Reach, Thornley have all got another 2 years. Borner, Longo, Iorfa and Wildsmith 2022. So I think the other thing that worries me a little bit is our squad depth is not good. I don't like our squad depth. Our squad depth does not look good at all. And there's no one in our team, if you look at it, who got good resale value, to be fair. None of them have got good retail value. Out of them, I'd like to keep Fox, Baker, 40-80 proves himself, and that's about it. It really... I like to keep New Q a little bit, but at the same time, I understand if we did get rid of him, but he does offer something. He offers something a bit more than what we don't have at the minute. He really does offer something different. And the only problem is, because he doesn't go, people don't see it. Really. If we didn't go up, but if we go up, would it be different mindset altogether? If we went up, I can see the whole squad being completely ripped apart, to be honest with you. Because we would be able to spend whatever we like a little bit then. We'd be able to spend whatever we like in theory. And the problem is, it's unfair for Monk to have to use the players and not have any of the players that are actually his players. Give me a minute. No idea, mate. No idea on that one, Callum. We do need a fresh start, though. I'll admit, a fresh start would be nice right now. Some fresh new players in, some young, hungrier players as well. That would be a must. Like I said, it's a weird one because I think so far, considering the upheaval we had at the start of the season, we've done very, very well. I really do believe that. I really do believe, considering the upheaval we had, we have done very, very well indeed. And anyone that said we're not doing is stupid. Now, the only problem I got is how many. It's the stat I put in the review. Is that it's something stupid like we've had the opportunity to get 7 or 8 points from games, and we've thrown that away in the last 4, and that's an issue. On the plus side, our goal difference is looking very healthy. 7+ goal difference is great. 25 points, kind of thing. We're in our own little kind of thing. Drawn 4, lost 5, won 7. 21 again to 14 away. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Our home record is home record was 7th. If we go our away record, our away record was 10th. Our away record is not great and it needs to improve. If you went on our away record, we got 10 points. Our home record, we've got 15. But you never know. Some of the players might be good enough for the Prem. Oh yeah, I'm not saying they wouldn't be good enough for Prem, but I just have a funny feeling with Chansiri and a little bit Monk. You might want to spend a bit of money, but you might want to give them a lot of game time. But you never know what happens. I wonder if Pelopes is on. I doubt it. I think Pelopes' wages will be quite low actually. I think I will let Fletcher go. Yeah, I think I will. It's a weird one because you look at what we let go, and then what we were hoping to build. We didn't manage to build of what we had because of what happened with Bruce. I think Bruce was going to bring in a couple more players in, and I think he had some players listed ready to bring on, and I think he took that list with him. If they go up, they shouldn't be given a chance. If they go up, shouldn't they? No, I believe they should be given a chance for loyalty and stuff. I'm all for letting a club you players who have got that team up. But you look at Villa. Villa went up, and look how much money they spent. They spent a hell of a lot of money. Wolves did it. Norwich spent nothing. I think Norwich were knowing they were going to go down. I watched some Attack TV, not much, but I do like it. I do like what they're doing. Fletcher will probably go at the end of the season. I think he'll probably look at going abroad. He might do a Gary Hooper and just go and get game time out there, because it would be very interesting to see what happens. Apparently more points than we got to playoffs under Carlton. Yeah, which is interesting. You wouldn't think it, would you? But you'd also got to think, if you look at the whole point situation, better point tally was starting to think, well, I really feel that I really do feel that if Monk can get whatever he wants to during this period with the players, during this break, will be good. A lot of the players are on break now. I know Fortieri buggered off to Disneyland. Fletcher buggered off somewhere with family. Harris had gone to Dubai. Newhugh gone back home for a little bit. I think he got called up actually. I can't remember. I know some of them are actually making the most of having a break, and it would be interesting to see what happens. There, thank gosh we don't have Conway as chairman. Yeah, true. Need to desperately loan out Wildsmith badly when he's been way out of contention since Wester was brought back in. To be fair, Wildsmith had a very bad injury. And it took him a while to recover from it. I think him just being in the squad at the minute is great news, and he's well down the pecking order. He's nowhere near that front starting thing, so I think it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Loaning him out would be good, but at the same time we've got to figure out what's going on, because as much as I say loan him out, if say Westwood gets injured and then say Dawson got injured, it's the kind of thing that would happen to Wednesday. Let's be honest, it's a Wednesday thing to do. We would have to rely on him. Yeah, exactly. Villa still kept the current team together, but they spent a lot of money. They still spent a hell of a lot of money. And I think they're still playing players who they had in the Championship. Kind of thing. So it's interesting that DJ Style has no longer his body will betray him later down there. Oh yeah, but he definitely Fletcher was one of those ones. When we signed him, it was great for when we had him. He was 100% great when we got him. The problem with Fletcher is he's getting on, and we've not really looked at replacing some of the players who were getting on. I personally think we wanted to get Rhodes out the door and Winnall out the door. Oh yeah, but I don't really count Paul Jones as a 30. Paul Jones was literally bought because Wildsmith got injured. Let's be honest. That's why we bought him. That's why he came in. He was an emergency cover keeper, and that's why he came in. But yeah, you're right. We do have Paul Jones if a first choice keeper if anything happens. We're going in the right direction with recruitment. Yes, you're right, Callum. Recruitment is going in the right direction. The problem with our recruitment at the minute, it is going in the right direction. We have got the lads that Bruce had as well. The problem you got is everyone's looking for that next talent, and I think looking lower leagues is going to be key to us. And it's something Monk had done at other clubs. He's looked at players down the leagues. He's not been one for getting players who are there or thereabouts. He's always done a bit of a looking at who's there, or looking at players who are a little bit out of favour in our league or in the Premiership, in their kind of system. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. But Fletcher, but you got to remember, Fletcher's 33. He's doing a job at me. He's blowing out his arse. He's 33. He's gone. To be honest with you, the whole Bruce situation, it's... Oh, I've missed one here. Paul Jones, son of... I don't know if he's son of David Jones, actually. If it is, that'd be interesting. Who would you bring in January? I wouldn't bring anyone in on a permanent. I'll loan if we could, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who I would bring in. Because at the minute, it's too hard to know where we're going to go for. Exactly. He's very good at getting players who we might never heard of. Like that lad at Crawley, who we had at Birmingham, and the only reason that lad didn't stay at Birmingham is because they couldn't get a contract sorted. It was nothing to do with Monk. It was Birmingham City fucking about with the contract. And he's very good at... I think you should look at some of the players at, like, Peterborough. Look at some of the players at Doncaster. Those kind of teams who are in and about it and always have good players coming up. There's always a good player at Peterborough because they always are very good at bringing in players who you've never heard of. Peterborough are very good at doing that. They've been good at that for a number of years. Hang on, where is he? There's a player I'd love to bring in from Donny, and I can't bloody find him. Oh, bloody hell. Like, Alfie May for Doncaster is very good. And there has been talks of some players him looking at in Scotland. And I know the first thing people will turn around and say is, oh, we've gone down the Scottish route before, one players who played in Scotland with likes of May and stuff. But you have to look. You've got to look all over the place. Callum, when we have to rely on a 33-year-old to win a game because no one else can be trusted, maybe Fev when he's back properly. Yeah, it is. The problem you've got is, at the minute, we shouldn't have to be relying on Fletcher. It feels like none of our forwards are pushing each other. It's like Fletcher knows he's got to start, so he'll play. At the minute, Atty's got to start, so he'll play. Everyone below that, bar Fez, I'll say, bar Fez Fortieri, he's not pushing. Winnall, apparently in an interview for the EFL podcast, said he's in best form of his life and he's looking to do well this season. I've not seen any of that this season. He's very good worker, but I haven't seen that desire. He had it when he was at Derby. I don't know if it's a case of he doesn't like being in Sheffield, or he's not sure about what's happening there. At Derby, he had it in abundance, but it's another case of, are we turning a good-ish player crap? And if anyone says it's not something we do, it is something we do. We are very good at getting players and not being able to do well. So it will be interesting to see how we do and what happens next. There's a lot of good up and coming players in the Championship and in the league below. Like, hang on. Because one of the people I used to use for rumours, I can't use anymore, which is annoying. Hang on a minute. And I have the situation with what's going on with Wednesday at the minute. Is we don't know what's going to happen next, to be honest with you. We've never really known that, what's going to happen in the next bit. Because there's a lot of rumour going down that Borowski, who's in our youth team, could be given a pro contract and been pushing more. There's a lot of rumour that Borowski gonna actually be given a lot of a bigger contract and made to push for the team, and that's someone who's all been looking to do well. To be fair, Winnall had got it, but it's not with us. It's not with us. It's never been with us. He did well at Derby. After the goal on Saturday, put Fox up front. Could be the net Paul Walker. Good shout, that Jimmy. Very good shout. I'd go for Wolf Jersey Barnsley. It all depends. Matt, you're saying we need a 20 plus goal per season. Everybody wants that. And the problem you've got with that, Matt, everybody wants that, and they all cost this. And we barely scraped FFP last time. That's his name, thank you, Glenn. The talks that he's going to get a bumper contract and possibly become someone who we go and look for. Really. And if he could actually come in, it'd be good, because it's been about time. Well, apparently, Brock and he'd been actually looked at by Monk to come in and try and do something. I think you're going to see that mix of blend of players. I don't think we're doing bad to finish in the top 8. We'd be great to finish top 8, to be honest with you. I'd be happy with that. Considering the start of the season we had, everyone needs to put into perspective the start of the season we had this season is like no other you could have asked for. It didn't feel like it. It's one of those things. We don't have enough players at the minute that quality, that I feel like the quality's there, and we don't have enough players who are at that right age. Like I said, the average age of the squad is 27. All our strikers are nearly mid-30. Hey, oh, we've got a problem. I think my video capture's just gone kaput. Give me a minute. I think the battery's died. Yeah. Come on. We should be back. Give it a minute, lads. The battery died. Oh, that would be why. We've been on for an hour. Right, we're back. Sorry, I didn't realise that we'd been gone for an hour. Let me have a, I've missed some comments here, Anna. True. Even if it's the National League is better than nothing. Murphy is looking a lot better. I'll call Matt Penny back. I won't call Van Aken back. Winnell had to take his chances against Everton and Hull. He hasn't taken it. He's a better League One player than he is Championship player. The football shirt I'm wearing is a fake football club called Ashwood City. If you've ever listened to the Football Ramble podcast, it's an offshoot of that. And if you're ever aware of the thick of it, it's very, very, very funny. It's hilarious. Hang on, I'll put a link to it. Serve. No. Oh God. Radio. Give me a minute. Let me find it. That's not the one I wanted. You're not the one I wanted. Nope, not that one. Give me a minute. There it is. View show. No, view show. Let's put this in. It's a fake football team Really funny. You probably like it all. Have a listen to that. Start with episode 1 and go from there. Van Aken did very well. Physically struggled, but Van Aken is doing well. But it will be interesting to see what we do next there. It will be very interesting to see what we do next in terms of what happens with the likes of Van Aken and Penny. Hey Declan, how are you, mate? Let's have a look, because I'm going to have to wrap it up soon because I've been going for an hour. Can't believe that. Let's look. Who will you have in the FA Cup? Anyone, mate. I'll take anyone in the FA Cup. Hey Dawn, how are you, mate? Are you well? You're doing well this season, you buggers. It's annoying me because my uncle's a Forest fan and I keep getting wound up by it. Let's have a look. If I'm 100% honest with myself, Bar Fletcher, if he was younger, I'd not decide to see any of our strikers leave. To be honest with DJ, I'm the same. I'd like to I'd see them all go and just start afresh and start again. And it's hard, that one, because there's some players that have been good for, but we've never really been able to get a decent striker in yet. The problem is you had our biggest thing was when we had Fezzi start of the season, when we had Carlos, and apart from that, none of them really stepped up. Really, let's be honest. Pookie was a dream, mate. He was a great free, and there's some good players around if you look around. There's a lot of good players around if you have a look, and that's the thing. Everyone's always looking Championship, League 1, League 2. There's some great players around the world if you just look for them. Like, and much as it sounds daft, I always beat some of my Football Manager mates to find out who they're looking at. Because I know it's a game, but there are people who on there who do actually end up turning out being very good. Hi mate, I think we'll finish 4th and losing the playoff. Well, that's a positive, I think. Finishing 4th and finishing 4th in the playoff, losing the playoff, possibly, but right, I'll put it out there then. If we got playoffs this season, would people be happy with that? I'm being genuinely serious. If we got playoffs this season, would you be happy with it? Woodrow from Barnsley. It all depends on how much we can pay them, and we've had okay dealings with Barnsley, so it will be interesting to see what happens there. Cheap and young, yeah, that sounds about right for Wednesday. Winnow, Rhodes, and possibly Fez at some point may need to go, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. What do you think of Warnock left Cardiff? About right time, really. He was done. I think he's had enough. You watch him go and get another job, but I think it was the right time. He's done as much as what he can with those players and taken them far as he can. The problem is, the last time he lost the job, he said he was retiring, and he didn't go on to retire eventually because his wife got sick of him being around. So yeah. But seriously, if we got 4th this season, like Futzu said, would you be happy with that? I personally would be. I think most of the Asians who come over to England do pretty well. So maybe an Asian striker if we can get it cheap. To be honest with you, I'm still under the theory that we're going to have some sort of Thai player come in who's really good just because of the allegiance with Chansiri. I think there's rumours that he's doing stuff over there for academy to try and pick up players, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. We always lose playoffs, heartbreaking for 2 seasons. Yeah, but at the same time, it progress. Like, if you look at everything, it'll be interesting. Of course, playoffs is the aim. That means that you're saying playoffs is the aim, but I've spoke to people who would be happy with mid-table this season. I spoke to people who said mid-table they'd be happy with, considering the start we've had, considering the upheaval we've had. And I think that's what you have to do. What do you mean, hair tutorial? You mean for this? All my hair is... All it literally is, Callum, is undercut, to be honest with you. So, oh, I hope I lost the green. That's all it is, an undercut, but I'm debating where to bring the Mohawk back. Thank Callum. What you ever do? Maybe. I'm looking at some other videos I want to do. I don't want to keep doing Wednesday ones. I think Liverpool can win it this year, because I think Man City's little reign is gone. I think Pep's done at Man City. I think Man City needs a rebuild. I don't think they're there anymore. To be honest with you, I think it will be interesting, that one. The other one was Travis. I nearly died of drunkenness that night. Yeah, I think we all kind of got a bit drunk on that one. Nearly died and drowned. That's heard some things about the curiosity about Abdi. Really deep stuff. The Abdi thing's interesting because there was a lot of stuff off the pitch that didn't sound like it was that good. It didn't sound brilliant. It sounded like he had some very off the pitch issues, and could have blamed why we never saw much of him. I won't be happy with mid-table. To be fair, I've seen a lot of people who have said that mid-table this season, top 10 mid-table, might be what we have to think of realistically looking at, considering what's happened at the start of the season. I have to say that again. The start of the season was the most bizarre start of the season we've ever had. Find a club that's had to... Way up, you're not meant to be doing that. Go away. Find a club who's had that really bizarre start of the season where they've had all their pre-season wrecked because the managers buggered off. I don't see anyone doing that, having that, really. Now, I want our Karloff back. I'm a big believer if once a manager's done it once, it's not right to go back. And like that with players as well. I think sometimes once a player's done it, I think it's time to do. Anything that's not sort of top six isn't not good enough. Connor, I understand what you're saying is anything that's not top six is not good enough. But look at the start of the season we had. We had no manager. We had the issue with financial fair play yet again. Yeah, team can go up with turmoil, but at the same time, we have to be realistic here. Kind of thing. I still think we can do playoffs. I really do. Exactly. That's a great point, Callum. Now if we're 15th this time last season, they took it from there. But the problem you got is that I understand why people are saying why we got to get to wherever. Top six. You're saying it's not good enough, but do you realistically, can you actually see the team being top six with our strikers not scoring? Defensively, we're starting to get better, but up front, we are lacking big style. We can't go for toffee. We can't have a game against Swansea where we had 10 chances in the first half and not bury a single one of them. And then they go and have 1 out of 2 and go off it. If we could be a team that could go and finish games, we'd be great. I have said on Twitter, and I've had this argument with someone before, DJ will know this one. I said the middle of the game was a complete and utter. It was a blip. All beating them 4-1 was a blip. We played a very bad middle of the team and beat them, and that was a blip. We haven't been able to beat a team like that since. Listen, the league is so open for the taking, so we can't get up this season. Then we need to rip it up and start again. Because we never will. Oh yeah, at the end of the day, Connor, everyone will have that kind of thing. We're going to have to rip it up and start again anyway. There are so many players in this squad who need to go, and Monk needs to put his own style on this team, his own players. And luckily, we've got enough that's out of contract next season where we can start afresh. It'll free up the wage bill. I don't think you'll see mental wages spent next season either. if we stay in Championship, if we don't go up. I think it'll be very some smart business. Need look on your side, and we haven't had much of that of late. But ref fault, whatever. We need that luck. We do need luck. We really do need luck. And to be honest with you, we need to stop conceding last-minute goals at these. And I'll take it. Yeah, we need to play for the whole 90, and possibly the 95, and we need to start taking chances. Our biggest thing, if we took, say we took those chances against Swansea, we could have quite easily been up 3-0 within 20 minutes. We could have been quite easily 3-0 up within 20 minutes against Swansea. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not going to say write the season off then. No. You still got to support them and back them and stuff like that. But you have to be a little bit realistic. And this is the most open this Championship has ever been. Look at Forest. Doran Toro today told you that I don't think they were expecting to be in the position they were in this season. I don't think they were expecting to be in the position they are now. I think you were expecting to see West Brom there. Let's look at the table a minute. Right, let's have a look. Total. I don't think anyone thought Preston would be second. I don't think anyone thought Forest would be fifth. I don't think anyone thought Charlton would be 11th. But if you look at the teams that are near the bottom, I think we kind of all expected with Barnsley. No one thought Stoke City and Middlesbrough would be down there. No one thought Derby would be where they are. No one thought Cardiff would be where they are either. I think if you look at the top 10 currently with West Brom, we all thought West Brom would be there. Preston, I didn't think they'd be second. I thought they might be fourth or fifth, but that's great. Leeds, I think everyone thought they'd be near the top as such. Swansea was always going to be interesting because they had a new manager situation, had to go again. Forest was the same, new manager situation, but finally it looked like they got it right. Bristol City has just been plodding along and they're slowly trying to get into that position to go up. Fulham, Scotty Parker doing a great job, to be honest with, for him for where he is, and that's not a bad position for them, and I think everyone thought that was about right. Us, considering where our season started, everyone predicted us being around 20th at this point, so that's decent. Brentford always up there around it, and QPR being where they are is fantastic for them. So if you look at it, it's very interesting to see what could happen. We got to be really, really smart. Our biggest thing now, if we have to, and I can't state this enough, start taking our chances and defending. Give me a minute. Look. Exactly. Did not expect to see Sheffield United fifth. No, I don't think anyone would expect to see United fifth. So I'm going to end it there. I've been on for an hour and 19 minutes, so it's the longest stream I've done in a while. Thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I will try and get these streams done when and if I can. It's hard to get them done at the minute. Not the easy thing to try and get done. if I'm brutally honest with you. So we'll see what happens, but thank you for watching the stream, and I will see you in the next one.